Hello, and welcome to the first video in explaining the Desmos concepts. I hope that this helps you. Please let me know if it does. Remember, if you don't understand something, even after watching this video, please talk to your teacher. All right, this is Unit 1, Lesson 1, Shapes on a Plane, finding area by counting squares. The basic idea is that area is how much space is taken up on a plane by a shape. And that measurement is measured in squares. So to find the area of a shape, we need to count up how many squares are inside that shape. All of the shapes that we're working on in this lesson will be drawn on grid squares. So all we have to do is look at the squares and count them. So here's a rectangle. It's made up of squares. We just need to know how many squares there are, and each square is called a square unit. So let's find out how many square units. Well, I know two ways of doing this. Here's the first way. The first way is just count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. There are 36 squares inside this shape. Therefore, the area of this shape is 36 square units. Easy, right? However, that was a lot of counting, and I don't particularly like counting. It takes a while. I can lose count easily, and I'm bound to make a mistake. I didn't that time, but I have in the past, so I want to do it a different way, without so much counting. Do you see that on this side, there are 4 squares? 1, 2, 3, 4. And along this side, there are 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because all of these columns each have 4 squares in it, and there are 9 columns, all we have to do is 9 times 4 is 36, and that gives us 36 square units. Because every column has the same number of squares in it, all we have to do is the number of squares in one column times the number of columns, and we get our square units. Okay, so that's just a shortcut. You get the exact same answer, whether you count them one at a time or you multiply to figure it out. Let's try another shape. Hey, this one, they're not all the same. This column has a whole lot more squares than this column. I can't just multiply to get the answer. But here's what I can do. I could cut it into this shape, in which case all of these columns have the same number of squares. They each have 4 squares in it. And there are how many of them? Well, let's find out. Each of them is 4 tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 columns of 4 means 4 times 11 is 44. But is that the whole shape? No, that's just this shape right here. We still have to do this shape down at the bottom. Well, this one has 2 columns, and each column has 5. 5 here, 5 here. So to get this number of squares, I'm going to do 2 times 5 is 10. Well, if there are 44 up here and 10 down here, and we want the whole thing, then we want the total. So that means we have to add together. 44 plus 10 is 54. So the area of this shape is 54 square units. Did that one make sense? I hope so. Remember, ask your teacher if you don't understand something or if you need more help than this video is giving you. All right. Look at this. There's a problem. Not everything is squares. These ones down here are triangles. But we have an advantage. Because do you see the way that each little triangle is 1/2 a square, because you see the way it's a triangle up here, and that would be another triangle, and those two are equal, so it's 1 out of 2 is 1/2. Okay, so when we count them, we can say that this half and this half makes 1, and this half and this half makes 2, and this little half down here is by itself, doesn't have another one to pair with. So just these ones that I've drawn in are 2.5 squares. Get the idea? Okay. Let's use that to help find the area of this whole shape. Okay? Area. And I know area is going to be in square units. So I'll put that, and now we'll find out how many. Well, I could again count them one at a time, but I don't want to. So I'm going to draw a line segment this way. And that makes this 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 4 times 11, we've done that before, that's 44. And then I have this one over here, which is 2 by 5, and 2 times 5 is 10. So we have 2 and 5 is 10. Now I have this triangle, big triangle shape. Well, there are whole squares in it, so let me count the whole squares first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 whole squares. Now let me put together the half squares. That makes 11, those two halves, and that half makes 12. And then this little half is just a half. So altogether, that's 12.5. All right, we have 44, we have 10, we have 12.5. Well, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6 and a half. That means the area of this is 66 1/2 square units. All right. So I hope you understood so far how you can put together little half squares and make a whole square out of it. Here's a complicated shape. I want you to see if you can figure out the area of this shape by yourself. The area is going to be in square units. You can use any method that you want. Figure it out. So I want you to pause the video and then play it again, and I'll show you how to do it, and you can see if you and I agree. All right, so pause the video. Okay, you've come back. Let's see how you did. Just say your answer out loud. Oh, that's right, or it's wrong. I don't know, I can't hear you. I've been recording this weeks ago. All right, let's try again. So I'm gonna draw my little lines here, making this rectangle, which is 4 and 9, and 4 times 9 is 36. And then these two half squares make one whole square. And then I have one here, and these two make one square, so that makes 3 for this. See, one here, 2, and then 2 halves make 3. And then a half up here, so that's 36, and 3 more, and 1 more, and a half more. 36, 39, 40, and 1/2. So the area of this whole shape is 40 and 1/2 square units. By the way, you can write that as 40.5 square units because a half is 0.5. So either way, it means exactly the same number. All right, that's the video. I hope you found it helpful. If you still need help, please contact your teacher as soon as you can. Thanks.